Hello, good February 1st. Happy Groundhog Day. Welcome to my Dadgum Sports channel, where I talk about my Dadgum Sports. My preference, as you can see by this lovely G on my head, is my beloved Georgia Bulldogs. So, what I've planned to do is, it being Black History Month, I'm going to highlight prominent athletes of color that played sports at Georgia, not just football, but anything at Georgia. And I was going to start with a running back, because I did Herschel Walker a couple of weeks or last week. But I come across this story, and it's the plot of the story, or the meats and potatoes of the story, is kind of heartwarming. It's groundbreaking, and you never know that something like this happens right in your own backyard. So here we go. We're going to dive right into this, and hope you enjoy this. Growing up in the 1950s in the South, in the state of Georgia, there were five young boys, all within 100 miles of each other. Three lived in Athens, one lived in Rome, the other one lived in Albany. You had Clarence Pope, Richard Appleby, and Horace King that lived in Athens, no more than 6 blocks from the stadium. So they could actually hear in the late 50s the cheering going on at the football game. And they would go over, and two of the guys would actually purchase a container where they could go in and sell drinks to the people watching the game, and that would get them in. And when they were done making enough money to pay for the box that held the drinks, they would stay and watch the game. Young black kids back in the 50s, with before affirmative action, before equal rights, all of that, it had to be tough growing up in the South. These kids couldn't play organized sports. They didn't have that, that offered to them. And the ones that were able to play it, often they shared uniforms, never the same color or the same team. One of these guys I'm talking about, uh, Chuck Kennesaw, I think it was. No, actually, it was Larry West. Larry West was actually known for being a legend on street football. That's how they had to play a game. They loved this game. University of Georgia was one of the last universities in this state in the South to segregate. And in 1971, Clarence Pope, Richard Appleby, Horace King, all three from Athens, Chuck Kennesaw, who was from Rome, Georgia, grew up watching SEC football with his father, and Larry West from Albany were the first players that weren't white to be afforded the opportunity to play at the University of Georgia. These guys had no idea that what they were going through was about to change history, change the world. And it opened up the doors for so many athletes. I mean, even get kids playing today would never have had that opportunity if these five brave men hadn't taken that step. And oddly enough, the freshmen, they just had not long ago the 40-year anniversary for that 1971 team with those guys. They weren't even at the celebration because their freshman season, back then, all freshmen were redshirted. They weren't part of the roster, so they weren't recognized as members of the team. But what I find interesting about this story, as I kept reading and reading and reading, is they had no idea they were doing it. They just had the love for a game, a child's game. They just wanted to play that game. But hearing each one of their stories, yeah, there was some racism that was thrown their way, but none from the team and none from the coaches. And you may recognize the coach's name that I'm about to throw at you. Who was their coach? Mr. Vince Dooley. And they said that he treated them with the same attitude and approach as he treated every white player on the team. So those five guys, 1971, did something just because they loved the game that would forever leave their legacy on Georgia football. And as we start Black History Month, I think it should be more than a month, me personally, but I would ask that you all take the time to think about a lot of the trouble and the struggles and the hardships that they had to endure to become part of that history. I salute each one of those guys. Thank you for loving the team that I love, and thank you for not being scared to go play for the team that I love. So, good job, guys. I don't know what my next video is going to be about. I was going to go after a running back, obvious choice at University of Georgia, but who knows? I start looking up stuff on the internet. You never know what you'll find. Never know. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. Let's get this story out there and share with the world what these 5 brave men who love football were able to accomplish just by playing the game. We'll see you next time, and peace out.